Hey guys, this is Lisa. Welcome back to my new channel, NYC Gal Pod. My old channel is defunct and there's like nothing going on over there. So don't forget to hit the like, follow, subscribe, leave me a comment and all that good jazz. It's a great way to support all of your favorite content creators like me. Anyway, okay, I've been MIA. I already did a video about what happened with my old YouTube channel, but I've also been MIA because like legit my hair, I had my hair butchered. If you want to find out what the hell happened to my hair, go check out that video where I'm basically doing like a rant and a vent about how this hairstylist from Walmart, and yes, I know what you're thinking, Walmart? Well, girl, you went to Walmart to cut your hair. That's your first mistake. Absolutely. I'm not even going to deny it. And I can, I can admit when being cheap was what got me this mess. Sometimes less is not better. Okay. Like I know people think like less is better or like you're trying to look for that bargain, especially in nowadays with the prices and everything, but like, no, pay the price because this is what you end up with. Okay. You end up with like effed up hair. Anyway, you see, I got myself so worked up. I can't even get my train of thoughts together. We are talking Real Housewives of Atlanta Sweet 16 Reunion Part 1, Snooze Fest. I mean, I don't know. They are going to have to, they're going to have to really figure out casting. I don't think they're jumping right into filming. The reunion was a snooze fest. It was edited a lot. By the time they started, they knew that Britt Eady had hit them with the lawsuit. The news of the lawsuit, it dropped like around noontime Eastern Standard Time. They started filming around like 11. That's when like everybody got onto stage and whatever. So they would have known while they were filming the reunion, they would have already known about the lawsuit. Now, a lot of the footage was cut out. I could tell. I don't know if you guys could tell or not. I could tell a lot of the footage was cut out because like legit, they were starting at like 11 before everybody got onto the stage. They try to make it seem as if Drew was like really late, like she was 2 hours late and whatever. Let me tell you, Andy Cohen was not sitting on that couch for like 4 or 5 hours. That's not happening. And plus, Andy lives in New York City. He would have just been like, yeah, I'm going home. Call me when the girls are here. Anyway, there's also like a lot of like spliced in scenes that doesn't really jive. But what I will say is that Britt Eady, she didn't tell anyone that she wasn't showing up. She didn't even tell her field producer that she wasn't showing up. Everybody thought that she was showing up. And at the last minute, she was just a no-show. Now, everybody has different contracts. I don't know what her contract looks like. I'm pretty sure in her contract, she has an arbitration clause, which will prevent her from filing a lawsuit. Her lawsuit is most likely going to be dismissed. But talking about the lawsuit in itself, a lot of people in the streets of Atlanta are saying that that lawsuit has not been filed. Now, here's the thing that I want to clarify. Has that been filed? There was no docket number, so it's not on the calendar yet. Because once it's filed and it's on the calendar, you're assigned a docket number. Now, with what is her lawsuit is available online. When you file something in New York, on the bottom, there's like an electronic data information that says that it's been received, it was received electronically, it's been filed, it's in the court recorder's office or whatever the hell. I'm gonna have to look. A lot of people are saying that like she didn't pay the filing fee for it. It actually doesn't cost that much to file something. It costs a lot to go to trial, but like to file paperwork, to file a petition, to file a lawsuit, it's like maybe a couple of $100s. I don't know. I know we joke that she's broke, but I don't think she's broke that she can't afford a couple of $100s to file the lawsuit. Now, if she has a lawyer, that lawyer is supposed to do all of that for her, but I don't know. But that is something that I've seen a lot of people saying is that like the lawsuit wasn't officially filed, that like she didn't have the funds to like file the lawsuit. But again, I got to look at the lawsuit. I am able to pull the lawsuit up and I have to look at it to see on the bottom if there is that transaction information. It'll say on the bottom of, even if you do it electronically, which in New York, especially in New York City, you're able to do a lot of stuff online. So I got to see, and it would have the date of it being received. It might not have been filed yet, but like the court would have acknowledged that the lawsuit or the petition was received. Anyway, but people are saying that like, yeah, that was like just something that her lawyer drafted up and that like nobody's been served with it. Now, not being served with it is not the same as not being filed. Like your suit could have been filed, but it's up to you to serve the parties. So I don't know, but we haven't heard anything more about that lawsuit, but I bring that up because Andy Cohen does ask the ladies about, you know, the whole Britt Eady situation. Drew comes out and says, oh yeah, she threatened to sue me like a couple of weeks ago. And Andy was like, well, what was she threatening to? Like, what? Like, what was she threatening to sue you about? And Drew was like, I don't know. She was just threatening to sue me. I guess maybe it had to do with like the Kenya situation with the billboard and whatever. Let me tell you, Portia is a hater and she's hating on Drew because Drew didn't do nothing to her. But Portia, she's been hopping onto her social social media platforms. She's the one that has been putting it in everybody's head that, well, I heard that it was Drew that gave it to Kenya, that gave that information to Kenya, or I know that it was Drew. Like, or how would you know? Were you there? Like, how would you know? And Kenya don't like Portia like that. I know that the two of them are like, oh, we're cool and whatever. They might be cordial and they're cool enough to film and be friendly and fake it for the camera, but they're not cool like that. And you've noticed when Kenya did her dream cast for Atlanta that she didn't mention Portia. She mentioned Nene, but she didn't mention Portia. She mentioned Drew, but she didn't mention Portia. So I don't buy it. I think that she heard the rumors floating out there that it was possibly Drew that gave those images, and then she hopped onto her platforms and spread that seed even further, because I remember hearing from a lot of people that Portia was saying that like it was Drew on one of her like YouTube episodes that she was doing. Which, by the way, as far as like all of these housewives and their YouTube channels, the only one that is like doing it like that is Kenya. Her shit looks like legit. It looks professionally produced, like real deal. Anyway, and I stated, well, I was going to say, well, watch the video. You guys can't watch shit because my videos don't exist anymore. I'm in the process of uploading the videos that are like still relevant, because like some of the videos I said I had to like, go through all of my files to delete the ones that aren't relevant anymore, and I got to edit a couple of stuff. But anyway, so like you guys can't go back to look at shit. But anyway, what I was going to say was, in my previous video, I stated that like Kenya, her whole setup and her whole whatever, it reminds me of like a more articulate Wendy Williams. Anyway, let's get back into it. So Drew talks a little bit about it. They don't really, at least not yet, they don't really talk about like the whole Britt Edie situation. I don't know if a lot of it was edited out because of this. Yeah, and while they were filming, the news broke of the lawsuit, because at that point they were just like, oh yeah, she's a no-show. She's just not showing up. Let me tell you, and again, all the contracts are different. I'm pretty sure that especially as a newbie, you probably have it in your contract that you need to show up for the reunion. Now, of course, there are exceptions. If you have like some sort of personal emergency, they're going to allow you that exception. But her just telling, like her not even telling anyone that she's not showing up, she might have broke her contract. They might end up suing her. Anyway, but getting back to it, so that's what happened. Portia, I felt it was really fake when Portia, a little bit theatrical, when she got up, she went to Drew and she's like, I want to apologize and whatever, and it was wrong and all this other stuff and da-da-da-da. She's talking about filming with Ralph. Andy said, did you do it to be petty? And she's like, of course, that is true. She did admit to it, but I felt it was a bit theatrical with the whole hugging thing. It felt like when Britt Edie was going to Shamia and like, girl, I got you, I love you, with the whole entire thing about, her daughter being sick in Grenada, and she's like, I got you, we're sisters, everybody's like, damn, calm the F down, girl, like what's going on? You acting like that's your baby. Anyway, so it was given a little bit of that to me. Anyway, I did not like Phaedra's outfit, and guys, I already did a whole thing about it, but legit, you guys won't be able to see any of my old videos until like a couple of months from now, weeks from now, because there's a lot of uploading. But also, it's going to be like all out of whack, because I'm going to try to categorize it as best as possible so that it's not all over the place. But what I mean is all out of whack is that, how I love to say upload dates don't lie? Well, in this case, upload dates are going to lie, because all of my uploads, even though they're going to be like 5 years, well, actually no, I started my YouTube channel in like 2019. So even though they're going to be like, some of them are going to be like a few years old, they're all going to be like within like the next week or something. So in this case, upload dates do lie. But if you guys are a follower of my channel, you guys already know that, whatever. With Phaedra's outfit, I did not like it. I felt like she was trying to match with Portia a little bit, which is bad. Like legit, Phaedra's outfit looked like it would go up. It would go with my effed up haircut. Anyway. Guys, I'm still so upset about my hair. Like, oh my God, I can't even. Anyway, and then though I felt like, even though and I watched it on Peacock, because Peacock, it gives you the uncensored extended version, and even though it was supposed to be like over an hour, I felt like, what the hell? It was like a lot of nothing. It was a lot of filler. It was like one of those boring filler episodes, and this was supposed to be a reunion episode. It didn't get into much, but what I did find interesting was that, according to Portia, I don't know if I believe her or not, but Portia was stating that when Britt and Kelly felt out, Britt basically spilled all the beans when her and Cynthia went to Britt's house to Kiki and whatever. Britt was saying that in the beginning, the newbies had a pact, that Kelly, Britt, Shamia, they had this pact where they were basically going to take down Portia, or they were going to take down Kenya, or I don't even know. But then Shamia chimes in and was like, well, Portia was part of that pact. I don't know if I necessarily believe that Portia was part of it, because I think that like every single franchise that get messy like that they probably did have like this meeting in the beginning that was like, okay, you know, this is what we're going to do for the season. If you've been on the show long enough, you eventually start producing it and you start working behind the scenes. I don't like that. Now, according to Kelly, the whole entire fallout with like the whole team was that Kelly was saying that, like, you know, Brit, she didn't have a team like that, and that Kelly has always had a team, and that she lent out the team, but then she started feeling like Brit was basically like she wanted everything that Kelly had. Now, I didn't understand it because, and I'm glad Andy Cohen asked this, because Andy Cohen was like, well, were you paying for the team? Because I legit would feel like, well, that would only be an issue if you were paying for the team. Like if you were paying for her stylist, for her hair person, for her makeup person, then I would be like, oh no, bitch, you need to pay me back some money or something. But how she said it was, you know, when she used them, she paid them. So, I mean, I'm not sure what it is, but look, I know there's also a lot going on in social media with the cast. And I know people are talking about the stylist Paris, but Paris, you bet on the wrong horse, because like legit, that girl's unemployed, okay? You're signing with Britt Eady. She doesn't even have a paycheck right now. She ain't even getting a reunion paycheck. I mean, anyway, so that was a little confusing to me. Portia was like, you know, I thought there was a bit of jealousy. I do think that it did have a little bit of jealousy. There was probably some jealousy in there. It's very hard to be on this kind of show without some level of jealousy. Women, I feel like women are naturally more jealous of each other. Men are jealous too, don't get me wrong. Men are highly competitive, but whereas with men, I feel like their competitiveness and their jealousy stems from like having to prove their manhood. Now with women, I don't necessarily think that is having to, you know what? Jealousy is the wrong word. Okay, let me take that back a little bit. With men, I definitely think that men are more jealous, but with women are more envious. I do feel that women are very envious of each other, whereas men are like more jealous of each other. So then they kind of get into like the whole Junebug thing and whatever, and Angela pulled out her folder and it was like connect a dot with the Addams family. They're from Athens, and you know, Mama Dukes went to school with like whoever the hell, and da 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 da, and yada yada yada, and blah 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 blah. Now, I will say in Angela's defense though, that they do edit a lot of stuff out. Me just watching this episode, I was like, yeah, they cut out so much. I could tell just from how they started the episode. The ladies, they came onto the stage at 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh no, they cut out a lot of stuff. They probably told the ladies like, yeah, we need to pause filming for a bit. Why don't you guys go grab some coffee, whatever, hang out in your trailer, and we'll call you guys back when we're ready or whatever. Because no, I do think because of the whole Candy situation that they are trying to give Phaedra a little bit of a better edit, just because they don't want all that smoke from the fan base of like, oh, why are you bringing her back, but you're not bringing Kenya back, especially since Britt Eady's like, you know, that's not even me. That's not you, girl. Like, what you crying about? Anyway, so I don't know. It landed with a dud, but I don't know. Maybe a lot of it was cut out, but it didn't seem to have like that effect. Shamia, I don't know. I'm not vibing with her. I liked her in episode 1. I thought she was going to be that girl. She's not. I don't like her jive. It was such a flop. I did not enjoy it. The only one that I was rooting for was Angela. The only one that I enjoy watching was Angela and Drew. Their interactions, like I even tolerate Basement Ralph, just for, you know, what was going on with Drew. And Andy Cohen did ask, like, you know, oh, did you call ice on Simon? You know, she didn't really answer. I felt like she didn't really answer. But Kelly, she also gave it to Portia. She was like, I was married 11 years. You were married 11 months. Our divorces are not the same. And then she even said something like she felt like it was fake. Not fake, like not that the marriage was fake, but she felt like, you know, that she wasn't marrying Simon with the best intention. She didn't say all of that, and she didn't say it like that. I'm saying it like that. But and then I think I got to rewatch it. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to rewatch it because that was like a boring, like that's an hour I can never get back. But anyway, when I was watching it, I think she even said something like, yeah, I think she called ice on him. Like, okay. Now, Shamia is saying, there was this whole thing about whether or not Shamia and her husband introduced Simon to Portia. Like, what does it matter? What does it matter whether he introduced them or she slipped into his DM or whatever? Let me tell you, that man made his own decision. I feel like you can never take another person away from someone. You can't take a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, a fiance from someone. I mean, like, the only way you could do that is if you kidnap someone. Like, so unless you're like out there kidnapping somebody's husband, you cannot take that person away from someone. In order for that person to leave or be with someone else, they had to want to leave. And And that's how I feel. I do. I feel that way. So in that regards, I mean, I don't care who introduced Portia to Simon. I don't care if like Portia was slipping into his DMs or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. That was the highlight of the damn episode. That was all there. Actually, no, that wasn't the highlight. The highlight of the episode, I felt like, was basically Portia stating that Britt Edie was saying that they had a alliance. The newbies had an alliance, which I didn't understand, because why didn't you bring Angela into it? But you know what? Angela's too classy for them. It was so like, this was so lackluster. What did you guys think? What was the highlight of this part 1 reunion for you? I mean, was there even anything worth talking about? Like, guys, I kind of like want to like just kind of rant a little bit about my hair, because it's just like so fucked up right now. It's making me so depressed. Anyway, I'd rather talk about my jacked up hair than what happened at this reunion. But that was it. Did I miss anything? I don't feel like I missed anything. Anyway, oh, I guess Portia got her boobs redone. Coco and Chanel. She got them redone. And she was asking Andy to smell them. I was like, ew. I mean, I guess, I don't know if they're brand new. You're supposed to be able to smell the silicone or something. I don't know if she has silicone plastic. I don't know. But I guess that is true, because sometimes when you get like a brand new stuff, you can smell the plastic. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to hit the like, follow, subscribe, leave me a comment, and all that good jazz. I'll check you guys out next time. Bye.